Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm just here to give you a little garden update and a tour to see how we've been getting on. Today we're talking about wildlife ponds, and as you can see my wildlife pond is quite well established. It's quite big and it's about 6 years old. So when I originally put this in, it was dug about 2 feet down right at the very bottom. And then I had a little shelf which was about a foot tall, and then I had a little slope running down this side here. Originally it was dug as just a normal hole, and then we lined it with the pond liner and the fleece, and then I put these old logs that you can see here all around the edge. And the reason for that was because I wanted to look as natural as possible. And another reason being was a lot of insects, especially dragonflies, lay their eggs in the wood, ready for the next season. There's been a lot of mistakes made with ponds. For me, when I first put it in, I hadn't done an awful lot of research. It was 5 years ago. I was very new to gardening, so I didn't know an awful lot about ponds. I literally thought you put a hole in the ground and left it, and it would do its own thing. So now this year I am doing a refresh of my nature pond, and I'm pretty much going to start again with the edges. I'm not going to take the pond out, I'm just going to leave it as because it is well established and we have a lot of nature in here. But I am going to redo the edges with some stones and some slabs, and just make it look a bit nicer and a bit more appealing. So I'm going to insert some clips of some insects that we found. We have found some common newts and some smooth newts. We haven't found any crested newts, but they are a lot rarer. We've got lots of frogs in here. We've got dragonfly larvae. We've had skater flies. There is literally so much in here. We came out at sort of 10 o'clock at night when it was dark, and shone the torch on it, and you could really see like all the little newts running around. It was really good. So yeah, we went to the garden centre today, and as you can see, the pond has currently got duckweed in. We've managed to scoop out quite a lot of that, because it's a blanket weed, and it does kill off all the algae and the oxygen in the pond, so we obviously wanted to get rid of all that. And we've bought some new plants to plant in our pond. So the first one that we bought was, now you're going to have to forgive me here because I can't say these, Mentha savina, which is a little bit like a garlic chive flower, and that's a marginal pond plant, so that will go around the edge of the pond, maybe at the back here up near the raised beds, and grows to sort of like this tall, and is very good at attracting the bees. I then bought some Lythrum salicaria, which I actually found out about by watching Wild Your Garden on YouTube. I think the guy's name's called Ashton, maybe, I may be wrong, but I watched that and he said that that was one of the most important plants to have around a pond. Of course, I couldn't not buy a water iris. This is Iris versicolor Comencina, and that's a marginal plant as well, and that one will be quite tall. And if you like your irises, these are ideal to have in the garden, they're beautiful. I then bought some Caltha Palustris alba. It's a marginal pond plant and it looks a little bit like a poached egg flower, and that's quite a short one, but that would look absolutely beautiful hanging along the edge. And then I was really keen to get these water forget-me-nots. If you like your wildflowers and your native flowers, these are absolutely stunning. So I got some of those, and then the last thing I got was Mimulus luteus. I can't remember what the common name is, but it's a yellow flower. And it's quite a big plant, so I'm expecting that to go quite big, so I might divide that, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. So what we're going to do is we're not going to get rid of the wood, because the wood is, one, it's very natural and it looks really nice, and two, it's very important for the wildlife. So what we're going to do is just move the wood to perhaps the back end of the pond, sort of like here where the chair and the statues are. So there is plenty of space for the wildlife to hibernate and lay their eggs, and you know, lots of things like that. Also, it looks really nice, but as you can see, over the years the wood has slowly broken down. You can now see my pond liner, so whilst the pond itself is very natural, the liner makes it look a bit messy to me. I think it looks quite messy, and I'd like to cover that up. We also need to top the water up quite a lot, so we're just filling up our water butts to put some rainwater in it. Obviously you don't want to put any water that's got chemicals or anything in that. And then around here, sort of down this edge, we're going to build a slope, because one of the important things that I realised I didn't have in my pond was a slope, in case wildlife such as hedgehogs or something slip in, they can't get out. And whilst I've never found any animals that have fallen in the pond, I don't want to run that risk. So we're going to build a little beach area up here, and then I'm thinking about around the edges to get some of those broken old sandstones that people tend to give away on Facebook and places like that, and put those all the way around the edges. And then this area here where my vegetable beds are is going to be all wildflowers, poppies and oxeye daisies and things. We have a lovely seating area here. Just up here I will insert some clips. There's a beautiful tree that overhangs the pond and gives the pond a lot of shade, sort of 50% of the day. I have a lavatera bush here which I will insert a clip of. That is going to be moved only because it's blocking our view to the pond from our kitchen, but it is a beautiful flower bush. It grows massive and it's absolutely humming with bees all through the spring, summer. So we will be moving that to maybe sort of that corner over there. Yes, and as you can see, we've already got some pond lilies in here. We have got a couple of the little water fountains, the solar panel ones you can buy on Amazon, and it's absolutely gorgeous to sit out here in the summer, especially early morning. If you get up early morning when the birds are singing, you come out with a cup of tea and the sun's just shining and the water fountain's just starting to spray up, and it's absolutely beautiful. And if there's one thing that you put in your garden to help wildlife, it has got to be a pond. The amount of wildlife we have, we counted 20 newts in our pond last night, and several frogs. We were absolutely all over the moon because I've never seen newts in this pond before. We have lots of frog spawn. Yeah, and it is absolutely incredible to have a pond. In fact, we are going to put a second pond in, one into our front garden as well. Yeah, and it's just lovely. So if there's anything I can recommend you put into your garden, it has to be a wildlife pond. The first thing you can see is we have put in a natural fence and a garden arch. And this was bought from Amazon. I believe it was about £60 or £70. We got quite a lot, and it's really sturdy wire. It's really good. We need to cut this bit off here, or we might leave it and grow something up. This is going to be our patio area here. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I've planted up some wild garlic, some ginger, some geums. There's a hydrangea there. We'll just go around here. We're going to put another load there. I've planted all my rose bushes over here, so the idea is that these fences will be covered in roses and pink and white flowers. Yeah, and it will just look absolutely lovely. The greenhouse doesn't have an awful lot in. I've been quite behind with my sowing this year, but I have started a few little things off. And then down here, excuse the random pots, the children have been digging around in the garden. Garlic bed with a few tulips and a rhubarb. I have planted another rhubarb out the front because this one was quite small. There's another garlic bed there. The cherry blossom is looking absolutely beautiful this year. It's stunning. It's lovely. Hello, Perry. Hello, Perry. And the autumn bliss raspberries. I've also started creating the wildlife border, which will come all sort of around here. So we've got some hollyhocks, got a couple of bits here, and this is the pond. We found around 20 newts and several frogs in here, and we are going to be doing a lot of work to the pond, which I will be talking about next. We then used some of the old pond wood to create a little bug hotel, which is looking rather nice there. The trough for my dahlias. And then over here is the herb bed, which needs a lot of work doing to it. It's all got a bit manky and bindweed in it. I lost a lot of my bare root fruit. I didn't plant it out in enough time, so I had to go buy some more. I've got some gooseberries and some currants and a couple of flowers and things in there. Coming around to the front garden allotment patch, we have some broad beans. We have got to strim, but our strim is broken, so we've got to go and get another one. I've pinched off the top of the broad beans to help discourage the black fly, and we do already have some flowering. And tulip bed, I've planted out the sweet peas. I just made this trellis because just this old wood needed using up really. Just put some bunting up to keep the birds away hopefully. I think that's an aquilidra at the back. And then we've got the strawberry beds. I need to cover these to stop the birds. And then some more strawberry beds, and then we have a rhubarb. And then just here we had an old wheelbarrow, and it was all rusty and tires gone on it and everything. So we decided to make it a edible bed. So we have some chamomile, nasturtiums, mint, rosemary and sage. And coming round to the front, there needs a lot of work needs to be done on this, but we are going to move this bed and create another wildlife pond. We're going to put a picket fence along here, and we're going to cut this buddleia back. As beautiful as it is, it's a bit of a menace when you're trying to walk down the path because it just overgrows. Yes, and I'll leave you with an image of our mason bee house, which all the mason bees have left, I believe.